Hi, ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Insecure Season 3, Episode 4. Fresh Like. So the episode starts off with Issa. She decided to take that new job opportunity. And I know, you're like, which one? The apartment one. So she has her own apartment. Daniel helped her move out. And now she's at a point in her life where she's good where she is. Daniel had that look of, I don't want you to go. But Issa had that look of, okay, it's time for you to go. So then they hug, and he looks back as he's walking away. Molly's coming in, and Molly just has that look of, oh, hey, Daniel. And then once Daniel goes and leaves, because he was like, hey, Molly, she was like, bye, Daniel. I really want to know the backstory between those two and how bad or tumultuous their relationship was. Molly came, one, to give Issa her, well, I guess she had some of Issa's valuables. She broke Issa's glasses, drinking glasses. But now Molly's there because Molly, she has housewarming gifts. She has a cactus that Issa can't kill, a mattress, and the one, the only, Hennessy. Issa appreciates all of that, and Molly's trying to pump her up like, okay, it's a new you. And Issa said, you know what, for once, I'm not trying to go and overly pump myself up. I actually want it to be a new me, so I can't go back into the same old, reactions and the same old actions. And Molly looked perplexed like, oh, okay. But speaking of Molly for a second, Molly's having issues at her job. Molly, she's like, everyone's nice, the work is cool, but she's just not the star of the show. And that's what Molly's used to being. She's used to being the star of the show. She doesn't get to be that at her current job, and it's messing with her. But back to Issa, because Issa, she's trying to keep a bunch of junk, and as everyone knows, when you're moving or when things are changing in your life, you're supposed to get rid of certain things. And a lot of times it's the junk. Issa has old notebooks with raps. But those are fun. I would keep that. She has the old Adele album. She has something that was gifted by Lawrence. It's just, maybe it was by Daniel. Anyway, she has too many things that she shouldn't have since her life has changed. And so when someone knocks at the door, it kind of gives Issa the reality check of, hey, you have a new job. There's squirrels in the walls. You need to do something about that. I said squirrel. I want to know how Issa did something. See, that's why this show needs to be longer. I would have loved to see Issa handle that. I just don't want it to be left to the imagination. Molly's alone at home. I mean, she's so lonely. She has a dog come sleep with her in the bed. Issa is taking out all the stuff that she told Molly that she would throw out, because Issa's like, look, you can never throw out Adele. And she was just making excuses for everything because it's a lot harder to start over now, isn't it? It's a lot harder to start over now, isn't it, Issa? Well, speaking of Molly and her work, the ladies have everything covered. Then the male, he's very overzealous. He's very, okay, it's my opinion, which is great, but there's other people in the room, and everyone else clearly has gotten used to it. So when Molly's done with that conversation, because she didn't really get to add much to the gumbo, which is odd for her, because that's not something that, is usual for her. Normally, she's the person going and saying, we do this and that, and everybody else follows. So once she goes and tries to ease her way into the women's group and just kind of see how they felt about Mr. A+ guy, that's when they said, oh, he's very overzealous. He's great at his job, but he definitely wants to be the center stage of any room. And so that was her way of breaking the ice. Like, okay, you need your clique. I don't care what anyone says. You need your clique at your job, especially if it's a big organization. If it's a small organization, then not. But if it's a big organization, then yes, you need people who are going to watch out for you, want to include you into things. It's how you really get from point A to point B to point C to point D. Now, Issa, she's still interested in looking at that new job. I think it was called The Beat. Or was that it? How music improves test scores. So maybe it's a situation of, if she's not going to go and work there, maybe she can incorporate what's going on there here. Now, Frida comes along, and Frida has excellent news. She's happy. She's a ray of sunshine. And Frida lets her know, I talked to the boss, and your ideas went really well, and maybe she should reconsider you for field work. And Issa's like, no, that's what we here. Thank you. I did notice the little sticker for Kid Fury and Crystal from the read. I said, look at that. Now, and I believe there's another podcast as well. I'm not familiar with them. Nathan. Remember Nathan? He was Lyft guy that beat up old boy. So Nathan runs into Issa, and I said, okay, here comes the love interest. Issa accidentally dropped her taco because of him, so he's gonna buy her a new taco, and it's gonna take an hour. I said, dang, an hour? An hour? I got things to do. But okay. They have an hour, which means now they can walk around. And she took him to the black side, and I said, okay, cool. This is where we find out that, hey, he wants to do things differently. I said, differently how? What's going on with you? What happened? What happened back at home? And we need the full details. I need to go and check your credit. I need to go and check your past history before you can go and do anything with Miss Issa, because we love her. Who are you? An interesting thing is that he talks about, he left where, I think he's from Texas. He left there because he said the women are different, in the sense where he was there, those women were fine just staying where they were. The whole thought of venturing out elsewhere wasn't a thing. It was like, wait, you want to do what? Where? And why? So he went to a new place, hoping to find something different. Now it's interesting because Issa, her heart is willing. She really does want to venture out, do other stuff. That's how she is on the inside. But the normal day-to-day person on the outside is the complete opposite. Sounds just like the women that were probably back at home that Nathan wouldn't be too keen of. It was funny because we haven't seen Chad all season since Chad was Lawrence's friend. So now Chad isn't needed on the show since he's what? Lawrence's friend. But we still see his face because he does sell houses. And I love the little skit that they did about her. Oh yes, the lovely property in Maine. Oh yes, I'll schedule it for 4 p.m. Oh, no, those pictures. Can you go and do, the one size smaller, please, at Sears. So they're just cracking at him. They do have good chemistry, which is interesting. Issa was hit up by Frida and said, well, I want to talk to you about your new job opportunity, or basically getting back to where you were before. Do you want to talk at 3 or at 2? And she told him, look, we have time. Don't worry about that. Molly is talking to this therapist, and I'm just thinking, Molly girl. Molly, love. I say this with love. What are you doing? She's going and she's complaining about, oh my gosh, and they're doing this here, and this is so different, and I don't feel like I'm being valued. But I'm in with some cool ladies, and it's nice. But what her therapist said, now wait a minute. What's wrong with you not having to be the center of attention, having to be the A+ student, not having to be the star? Maybe you should do something different. Why don't you go and try listening and helping others? Instead of having that takeover spirit, why not just help others? Can't you do that? And so then Molly was like, yeah, But you know, it's just like with that and with Dro, the therapist said, "Who's Dro? Who's Dro? Who's Dro?" Molly had that look of, oh crap. So you've been going to this therapist how long now? And someone really important in your life you've never mentioned? Because she didn't say, oh, why are we talking about Dro right now? She said, who's Dro? As in Molly never brought him up. The truth always comes out one way or the other. The truth always comes out one way or the other. Now Nathan and Issa are comparing hoods. Oh, well, the hood of Houston. And then Issa's like, no, we gets down here too. And he said, yeah, but y'all have tacos and palm trees. And I'm just watching them. I said, this makes sense. I said, I could see this. I can see this definitely more than I could see Lawrence and Daniel. A fresh start. That's what Issa needs, because then they dive into relationships. They do a truth or dare type of thing, and maybe it was during that or before that, Issa acknowledged her last relationship was around 4 or 5 years, and the reason why it ended was because she cheated on him. Which was very honest and straightforward for someone like Issa. So I said, look at this, the true definition of growth. I was so proud. I was so proud because this is a woman who is naturally awkward and will go and wiggle her way out of confrontation and being honest. And she just told this stranger her life story in a couple of minutes. So then and he was like, oh, wow. And it wasn't a judgment thing. It was just like, wow, that was very honest. I think he was even surprised. So then Issa gets a call, and it's Frida. And she tells Frida, hey, Frida, actually, I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to take the rest of the day off. Frida's like, oh, no. I said, yeah, I'm not feeling well, so we'll reschedule tomorrow? Of course. Issa's going to ditch, because Issa lived right around the corner, so she's going to take him to her old place, which is really nice. Issa definitely lived on the I don't like the phrase better. She lived on maybe the more middle class side of town, or of the area, or of the block. That's what we'll say. And she does come from parents of divorce. But they divorced when she was 16. That must have been really interesting. Now, I don't know how bad the relationship was with her parents prior to that, or if they made it seem like everything was cool up until then. But now the character development of what happened with her when they got divorced. How did that mold her with relationships? Was her household actually a good example or not? There's a lot of questions to be answered. But he goes and tells her, hey, why don't we go in? And he's like, okay. And then she does truth or dare because she has a pool. Of course, Issa grew up with a pool. She dares him to go inside the pool. Someone else owns his house now. But the gate was... that gate is trash. You should not have a gate like that if you're really trying to... If you have a pool, no. If you have a pool, no. I need that door to be locked. I need for me not to be able to open that door unless I have a key or from the other side, period. Not put your hand through one of the holes and open up the door. No. So he jumps in. He gets Issa to jump in, which again, this is out of character. Issa just really exposing herself to this man in all forms, mind, body, soul, and jumps in. And the water was so cold. It was so cold. And then she even tells him about, like what really interests her. What is she like? And she was like, well, I rap in the mirror. And she's also thinking about pursuing that. Well, they actually had this cute little moment where they were kind of doing like a random impromptu diddly mind you, I forgot to mention that when Issa was looking through her rap book when she was in her apartment, you could hear her old rhymes. That's so basic. It's so funny and so basic. But again, it's just interesting seeing her open up to this guy. Yeah, so he was saying for himself, his life works because he just let everything go and moved on. She said, I don't know if that can happen. And she really does have a love and interest for music, which makes sense why she likes Daniel so much. And he said, you need to just go for it. But by then, they both need to go because the owner of the house was like, honey, call the cops. They ran out of there butt naked. It was so funny. It was so funny. And of course, they're drenched. So then she said, well, we can go to my place. I'm thinking, what type of Issa is this? A mess. Molly, she goes and finally does what her therapist told her to do. Acclimate herself into a group. See where her value can be. And so she offers up her services to help with the ladies in the case that they have going on. And I said, great, Molly, perfect. But she was also eyeing the rock star there, and which made me nervous. Oh yeah, by the way, they picked Issa and Nathan picked up their food. So that's when Issa told Nathan that he can come to her apartment. Next week's episode, when they go to Coachella, I'm telling you, when they go to Coachella, that is going to be a mess. I'm going to love every moment of it, and that is going to be a mess. They're going to see Beyonce, they're going to see Chloe and Halle, they're going to see Cardi B, I said, I love how realistic the show is. I love it. Her and Nathan start kissing, and then this kid comes up there, and it's like, knocks on the door. Well, mom told me that you guys locked us out. I said, your mama didn't pay the rent. Oh, and then the kid was still there when Nathan was coming. Molly messed up. She messed up at the end of the episode because she had the opportunity to join these people, these ladies, and they said, oh, well, do you want to go and work on that project tonight? She said, no, I can't. I thought maybe it was Issa related, but the fact that she wasn't clarifying why made me think, oh no, what did you do? And it was because the rock star guy, she made prior plans. No, she double booked and realized she wants to be at the top. So instead of working with the women who are just, letting the guy do whatever he wants, she's going to go and work with him. And I'm thinking, what? Oh, God, Jesus, no! Molly, how could you? Molly, how could... The betrayal. They were so hurt. And you just started, and you spurned the people that are going to have your back. That man is not going to have your back. Those women would... Issa, when she comes back to her apartment, she throws away the stuff that she knew she should have thrown away in the first place. But that wasn't it. She was looking at her office, and it was looking very drab and generic, and she was seeing all the usual faces, and she was tired of it. Frida came along and said, oh, are you okay? You feeling better? Oh, yeah, I'm feeling fine. As, remember, she made that excuse about not feeling well and taking the rest of the day off. But Issa said, you know what? I'm done with this. What do you mean? I mean, I quit. I said, what? I expected it to happen. I just didn't expect for it to happen that way. Wow. Okay. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. I'm proud of Issa. I'm proud. But let's see what direction her life changes, how this relationship goes, what's going to happen with Molly. But screw all that. Coachella's next.